Hey people, I'll be right with you. Just need another few minutes or so to finish getting set up. Had to upload, convert, etc. my most recent upload, which is out now by the way. So that's preventing me from preparing for this, but I'm going to be with you very shortly. Octo, Kate, hope you're very well tonight. Stay put. Be right back. Won't be too long now, people, but I have left you a teaser, of course. How do you get your country back and save your kids? Is it A, loot phones from O2, B, loot gingerbread men from Greggs, C, loot bath bombs from Lush, or D, all three of these? Think carefully, and I'll be back with the answer very shortly on my left eye. Right, finally ready. Thanks for your patience, folks. Of course, amongst other things, I had to make a cup of Solidari-tea, which I've got here as well. Tasty hot beverage. Hope you're very well tonight. Welcome to the Brews at 10. On my left eye, I'm your host Lefty, your friendly local socialist and environmental / political protester / activist. My first guest is Slash from Guns N' Roses. No, not really. Of course, the answer to the teaser I left you was, if you are one of the knuckle-dragging right-wing rioters that have been spreading across the UK this week, the answer is D. All three of these. You might have seen some pictures going around your social media. One guy in particular is taking his country back one gingerbread man at a time. Imagine the fella's girlfriend's expression when he comes home with the luscious bag of bath bombs as well. Unbelievable. So that's going to be the main bulk of topic of conversation this evening. Thanks for everybody who's in the chat. Members and non-members alike. It's great to see everybody. Kate Octo, Sting. Dolores. Very welcome to my left eye. Very warm welcome, I should say. As warm as a tasty hot beverage. No sugars for you, Octo. You're sweet enough. I'm sure. Alright, background music. Where's it gone? Yeah, of course, Stin probably doesn't have a girlfriend. We'll probably rush into the nearest pub and try and flog it. Yo, mate, want to buy some bath bombs? I'll give them to the missus, but I couldn't get laid if I had a £50 note hanging out my zipper, you know what I mean? Anyway. So that was that one. I don't know if you've seen that one going around as well. Bit of shameless self-promotion now. Please do hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you've not done so already. That'll enable you to get on the chat just 60 seconds later, he says. Also, if you're watching back on a replay, add a comment. I'll do my best to get back to as many comments as I can. Super chat's also open if you've got a particularly urgent, pertinent question or point you want to make. That's one way of getting my attention in the chat. You might also like to consider joining the channel for just 99 pence. Cheaper than a hot tasty beverage from Greg's. Although sometimes they're free if you're looting. Yeah, please do consider supporting the channel in that way. As always, I will move on to thanking our members. This is the latest updated list. Picked up some new members on yesterday's live stream, which mostly concerned my on-the-ground frontline footage of the counter-protest at Bolton, which is now available to watch on a separate video if you want to check that out. There was a bit of lagging on the live stream last night. Apologies about that. That was down to the file sizes of the clips. There were 43 clips on there. So yeah, it kind of slowed things down, unfortunately. But if you want to watch it nice and smooth in full HD, then please do check that bit out. Molto grazie to all of the members. whether you've just joined recently or been with us for a while. Thanks a lot for showing solidarity and supporting the channel in that way. Of course, special thanks to people who've gifted memberships to other viewers recently as well. And a shout out to No Justice, Helena at No Justice, and Kevin Logan at Kevin Logan for yesterday's raid as well. It was fantastic actually to get over 1,000 views for the first time on a live stream. So, bit of a celebratory live stream here this evening. That's a milestone that I've reached yesterday. Thank you to everybody who checked out yesterday's stream and helping me reach that milestone on the channel. Awesome people. Give yourselves a clap and a pat on the back. And I think you've definitely earned some cake or a biscuit to go along with your cup of solidarity this evening. Go on, treat yourself. The loop on the background music appears to have run out. Don't worry, we have the technology. Don't worry, folks. Right, so where to go on to first? Of course, got articles to go through, a clip or two, and the odd meme, as you saw before. Also, as well, going to be touching on the absolute barefaced hypocrisy from a lot of the right-wing media over the last couple of days, trying to disassociate themselves with these actions from the far right, as though this has happened by accident. And I mentioned this a little bit on yesterday's live stream. It goes on. They've been chasing Stephen Yaxley-Lennon, aka Tommy Robinson, down on holiday in Cyprus, for example, the Daily Mail. And coming up as well, I've got a clip of Zara Sultana, who appeared on GMB, where she points out to a Tory all of the press headlines, all of the should we say xenophobic whistleblowing that's been going on in the mainstream media for so very long in the UK. That's another topic coming up. Let's get over to some of the latest about these riots today. You'll have heard yesterday as well about Hartlepool. There's been some more news coming out about that as well as other riots and obviously counter demonstrations in Birmingham and other places, I believe. Let's skip across to the screen. I'd like to say what the hell's going on, but we know how things have led up to this with the right-wing rhetoric that's been going on for over a decade and a half at least under the Tories. And certain people getting perhaps a bit more than the first share of airtime, you know what I mean? And allowed to stir this up. As well as social media, which has been an absolute tinderbox for this thing. Mark Twain, a lie gets around the world quicker than the truth can put its shoes on. And it's so unregulated and so unchecked that these hooligans will lap it up and try and use it as an excuse to do all of this crap. So they've moved from mosques to hotels now that have previously housed asylum seekers, or perhaps still currently do, without any respect for the difference between an asylum seeker and an illegal immigrant or a refugee. To them, it's just them coming over here. You know, it boils down. The syntax simply boils down to that. And there are families in these hotels. There's women and children. But this seems to be the main tactic at the moment. I have heard that they could be returning to various towns and cities within the next couple of days. I'll be talking about that in a little bit. And there were, of course, a lot of arrests linked to this one in Rotherham. Some people have started to appear in court as well. Ah, looks familiar. Yeah, that was Bolton, of course, where I was yesterday. And then Tamworth as well. So let's have a look at the quick look at the latest headlines, quick skim through. Yeah, that's a good point, Octo. You dread to think what would happen if one of these mobs actually got the hands on someone who they thought was a refugee or an asylum seeker or a migrant. That's one of the things that worries me. It seems to be building up to what could be another tragic event. So this is the latest, breaking a short time ago. Disorder in Plymouth. Several officers have been arrested, injured. That's from Devon and Cornwall. Says they will be dealt with robustly, adding a number of arrests have been made for a range of public order offences and assaults. So, no real numbers there. Birmingham. Jess Phillips has thrown us 2 cents in there. "150 officers deployed in Plymouth city centre. Cars and a pub attacks in Birmingham." I mean, what is this? What is this? This is insanity that this can happen. That it can be allowed to happen. It's crept up slowly, and sometimes it's taken the odd leap forward here and there, and people have been warning about this for a long time, and now it's all coming to pass. Thanks for that, Von Nackerizer. Hope you're well this evening. Thanks for your comment in the chat. Riots occurring in Darlington. A mosque was targeted. A riot ensued. Cars set alight. Police choppers all over the place. Is that close to where you are? Let us know about that or anything else that any of you hear about. Hopefully, I'm hoping, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, none of this violence will come to where you live. You know, because I was in the thick of it yesterday, and this isn't what we want to see spreading across the UK. What's Keith's standing army going to do about it? This supposed remedy from the... I don't know if you knew. I don't know if you've ever heard this about it. Come, listen closely now. Not a lot of people know this. All right, okay. It's just between me and you guys, okay? He used to be. You can write this down if you want, but burn after reading. He used to be Director of Public Prosecutions. It's true. It's true. And, well, the last time we saw any kind of mass public disorder like this was when Keith was in his position with the Department of Public Prosecutions, and now he's a Prime Minister. So let's see what you got, Keith. I won't hold my breath. Rival protesters facing off in Plymouth, where Devon and Cornwall police say arrests are ongoing. Yeah, Keith's standing army of specialist police officers. More than 370 people have been arrested since the unrest began last week, says the NPCC. The Northern Ireland Assembly is being recalled from its summer recess. This is something people have been asking in England as well, if Parliament, they'll all be going back to Parliament to discuss what to do. Keith thinks he's got this, though. There's no need. Of course, there was a vigil today in Southport as well for the 3 victims of the stabbing, which the right wing seized upon with misinformation and lies and hate, and now it's all this. In fact, I think it was one of the fathers of the victims, one of the victims who I saw on TV earlier, who said that he saw what happened at the mosque in Southport, and he was horrified to see people who he knew on the side of the right wing as well. It's just disgusting. These aren't protests. It's got to be another 2,000 public order trained officers on top of 4,000 mobilised over the weekend, apparently. Some pictures from the vigil there. So that's the 3 victims. Bebby King, who was only 6, Elsie Dot Stancombe, who's 7, and Alice De Silva Aguirre. Tragic. Tragic. 1 child remains in hospital while others have been discharged. Police have said earlier there were other injuries. We'll wish those who were injured a speedy recovery, of course. And the police look stretched. They already are. Lots of cuts, obviously. The thin blue line getting a bit thinner and thinner, as it were. So something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. That's pretty good. Someone gave him the middle finger, I gave him a peace sign. That's how you do it. Small opportunities to engage in dialogue really make a huge difference, she says. He just looked away in anger because I wasn't feeding him what he wanted. Yeah, which is true. Oh, this was the man I was referring to. He's the cousin of one of the Southport victims. Beg your pardon for getting that mixed up. So that's the cousin of Leon Lucas, the yoga teacher whose event was attacked 1 week ago. And yeah, shops are shutting up. People are being told to stay away, of course, for their own safety. Wow. Wow. What can you say? Well, let's see what Zara Sultana had to say about it. Like I said, I won't go through any more of that article at the moment. Let's go back to the clips and check in with Zara in a moment. Yeah, so this is from, pardon me, from GMB, I think. And first of all, Ed Balls was criticised for interviewing the Home Secretary. But for those of you who aren't aware, that's actually his wife. His wife is the Home Secretary, so essentially, a former cabinet, former cabinet member interviewing a current cabinet member who's his spouse on TV, and that's fair and balanced, I suppose. But that aside, there was also criticism for how the panel and presenters seem to try to round upon Zara Sultana, who can always hold her own in these kind of conversations, as I'm sure you know. Let's have a look at the clip first.
Important.
It is, yeah, I completely agree with Zara there. I bring this up from time to time. The syntax, the language is very important. The words that politicians use, the words that the media use, words that they avoid using as well are also equally important to look out for. And in this case, it is calling it out for what it is, which is racist and which is fascist. But these are words that politicians and the mainstream media have to tippy-toe around. They have to tread on eggshells about. But it is what it is. And it went so far as the BBC reporting from the scene in Bolton as well. I saw a clip of this. Can't remember if it was yesterday or today. But they described the far-right fascist racist mob as a pro-Britain demonstration. So what? That is awful. That is awful. A pro-Britain. This wasn't any kind of protest about the union, you know. That is the union of countries that is Great Britain. And the counter-protesters certainly weren't there to call for a dissolvement of the union. They were there to stand up to racist fascists. Pro-Britain. That's how it was described. So language is really important. It's another thing. This, obviously, not everybody in the counter-protest groups are Muslims. However, if and as the far right have been attacking mosques, then obviously there's going to be a lot of dissent from Muslims in their own communities where their mosques are being attacked. So, first of all, the absolute gall to go and attack these places, and then turn around and say, "Oh well, look, it's all Muslims in the counter-protest, isn't it? And look how angry they are." This is like schoolboy tactics. It's despicable. It's low-brain crap. Well said, Zara. Let's hear some more. Well, she's certainly rattled his cage there, and his ignorance, the level of his ignorance is absolutely stultifying. I've seen a meme which managed to produce 72 headlines that are race baiting, xenophobic, etc., anti-migration, at least. What has my newspaper done? And they're all either pointing at each other now, or just trying to claim innocence on the. It's unbelievable how shallow they are. These tactics are despicable. It's clear for all to see. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
My newspaper.
So if we look at the front page,
example, can you give me an example?
I can
give you 72 examples. Absolute turds. These people are awful, you know. This is the same publication that sided with the Germans in World War II. You know who. I can get flagged and stuff for saying certain words on live streams. You know what I'm getting at, viewers. We have an intelligent audience here at My Left Eye. And now look at them, trying to make excuses, you know, for themselves, as well as pretending that they've not had any association with the far right whatsoever, or anything to do with spreading hate. It's been there for, I mean, it was Cameron, wasn't it, who was first under fire, as it were, for referring to refugees like a swarm of refugees. Then with Theresa May, we had the hostile environment, of course, and the you know, dob on your neighbours' vans going around the streets of cities as well. It's been there for so long. There's a litany of examples, not just from the government, but from the right-wing press as well. And we know that the two feed each other. This arsehole from the Daily Mail can print a headline or an article. A member of Parliament will refer to that article as though it's 100% absolute fact because it's been in a newspaper. And then the newspaper will report on the MP saying the thing that they said in the first place. And then it becomes legitimised. Quotes. Yes, Sarah. Absolutely. How many times has he been on there? Well said. Was the where is it? There we go. Lovely. Of course, she's not afraid to call out whoever is in front of her, whether it's the channel itself, newspaper owners, whomever that may be. And this guy keeps getting airtime. He was getting just as much airtime before he even had a seat in Parliament, as though he was somehow relevant. So they are, you know, responsible. Music. So next I'll quickly just follow up on that story I mentioned about Ed Balls being criticised for interviewing his wife. What's the screen at? Yeah, so he's married to Yvette Cooper. Former Labour MP co-host Kate Garraway interviewed Cooper following the recent wave of violent unrest across England. Yada yada yada. They also interviewed James Cleverly, but they say that they're satisfied the interviews were balanced, fair, and duly impartial. That's nothing like Jacob Rees-Mogg having his own show on GBBs, for example. Oh God. Just try not to think about him. You know what I mean. And now, yeah, I guess Labour in a way are trying to distance themselves from this as well, because they had their answer to stop the boats, didn't they? Which was stop the gangs. And now we're hearing those words being echoed back by the rioters, words like stop the boats. Or stop the gangs. And then, yeah, later, Ed Balls sneered at Zara Sultana in response and criticised the rest of the panel, who she described as white commentators with no lived experience of racism. That's a fair comment. Okay, folks, it's going to be a bit of a short one tonight. That's going to be almost it. I just wanted to catch up with you guys and check out the latest follow-ups on stories today. Please do put the latest video release on your playlist, or watch it directly after this live stream if you like, and hit a thumbs up on this stream to help it reach a wider audience. Of course, I want to say another huge, massive thank you to all of the members whose names you can see on the screen right now. And if you'd like to do so and join the channel for just 99p, you can join this list of incredible people and show solidarity in that fashion. Thanks to every single one of you. I'll be back through the week with more Brews at 10, of course. I did mention that there might be some further escalations planned, shall we say, on Wednesday that I've heard about across the UK. Like I said, obviously I'll do my level best to try and get down to the scene at one of the locations if I can, and bring you more frontline footage. Hope you enjoyed the footage on that video as well as yesterday's live stream. Not got a bit heavy at times, but that's just the cold bare truth with it all, I guess. So yeah, thanks a lot to all the members. Shout out to those who've gifted memberships recently. I'm just going to check who is still on live. I had No Justice lined up when I came on the stream. So if Helen is still live there, going to take you across. Yeah. Okay, so please do stick around, and I'm going to send you over to Helena's No Justice channel here on YouTube directly after the stream. So say hello from me as well if you jump across. Might be able to jump in the chat for a moment or two, but yeah, that'll be it for me here for now. Until next time, everybody, take care. You've all been wonderful. Thanks a lot for joining me on the Brews at 10. I've been Lefty. You've been fantastic. My Lefty, I'll be seeing you soon.